Hey guys, and welcome to another video where I will be reviewing Graphmaster. This is a product line from Germany, I think, and they sent me their package of manga tools, what they consider is a complete set for manga. And also they have included one more tidbit, and that's the Graphmaster Acrylic Paint, which they feature in several colors. And believe it or not, I never thought I would live to see the day when actually you could find acrylic paint in a form of a pencil. So this is literally a bullet tip all surface marker, which is water-based and waterproof, which is really interesting because this means that you can actually draw on fabrics as well as on surfaces like plastic or glass or whatever surface you'd like. And this is especially interesting for me because I'm a cosplayer, so when I make cosplays, there are usually some insignias and stuff to draw on fabric, and yeah, I can't wait to see how this fares. And to see what's in this, we can I also got a little catalog for Graphmaster alcohol-based ink, and here I have all the specifications, and these are available as single markers, 124 colors, and also as 12 different sets. I asked them to give me the warm gray set, which goes from warm grays to cool grays, well, cooler warm grays. So I'll really love to see what I will do with these and how they will fare. And these are some sets that are available. They're really nicely color coded for beginners and for people who need specific things. And let's see what I got. I got black pigment liner, water-based ink and water resistant. These are 8 markers for precise and efficient scribing, sketching and drawing, and they have multiple line widths. Oh my god, they have the 0.05 width, which is something that I consider to be the most thin multi-liner, well, the thinnest one possible. They also have everything from 01, 02, 03, 4, 6, 8 and 1.0 thickness. This will be very good. And this is smudge proof, so this little sign says it's smudge proof, which means that you won't be able to just smudge it over with your palm while drawing, which is awesome, and it's quick drying. I can't wait to check this out. And don't forget, at the end of this video I will show you how you can get your set for testing out as well. Then I got a Graphmaster permanent liner, alcohol-based ink and water resistant as well. And here we have 3 markers for scribing, sketching, drawing on all flat surfaces, water resistant, and there are different tip sizes: 1.0 millimeters, 0.6 and 0.4, basically the similar thing I just opened, but as a smaller set, so that people can get cheaper set with fewer pencils if they need them. Yeah, this is just a typical fine liner, which I'm used to using, and perfect because it's water resistant, so you can use it with watercolors, which is very important if you don't have money to get all the fancy markers. But speaking of fancy markers, this is the warm gray set I wanted to test out, and wow, this is one big set, and it contains 12 markers, which are all dual tipped, which means they have both the chisel tip and the thin tip. And oh, speaking of the pencils from Graphmaster, I also saw that the acrylic pencil actually has replaceable nibs. Okay, so these are 124 colors available, and yeah, let's just take them out and see what they offer. The tricky part is this foil I need to cut open, and let's see which shades we got. Oh yeah, so these are all the shades we got. Well, I hope my autofocus works. Sometimes it really doesn't like me. Anyways, yeah, there are some pretty warm shades here. And then there are cooler ones. Okay then, let's test them out. First of all, I decided to do some swatches and determine what is the difference and the feeling between these different types of fine liners and thin markers. And then I made a mistake of not intentionally messing up 0.1 and 1.0, so that's why we have a big thick line. But then I realized the 1.0 is actually a brush tipped marker, so that was a fun surprise for me. And then I proceeded to like sketch it out, and then I messed it up again, and again I wrote 0.1 instead of 1.0. Oh well, I was so happy to find out that in this pack of 8 I actually had a brush tip marker, and you guys know how much I love brush tip markers. Then I proceeded to sketch out tiny squares and mark them with different colors from the 12-pack set, after determining that these 3 marker sets contain thicker markers. And later on I will show you how different thickness of the lines can actually help you out in drawing, in making lines and making your characters look more alive. I realized that the warmest gray was actually something more of a beige, and the first 3 colors are really warm and they can really be used for lots of different things like hair and skin color, even gold. So yeah, I find out that these warm grays are very rewarding as a set. I then sketched out everything, and in the pack you also have the completely black color and the colorless blender you can use to reduce the color intensity and mix it up with other colors so they blend together better. And then I had a small trouble to figure out how the acrylic paint worked. The trick is actually to press it down quite a few times until the thick color drips down, and then it was perfect. You can see it drying out, and during the entire procedure of my drawing on the right side of this paper, you can see how these colors stay put, they don't bleed, they don't go through the paper. They're a bit stronger than Copic's, but they're not bad at all. The one thing I did mind with these markers is that they don't have different covers for different sizes of the tips, so I couldn't determine which side of the marker was the chiseled side and which was the thin side, so I always had to like take out extra time from the drawing and just check out to see if I don't mess up and open up the wrong side of the marker. But as I said, I really like the way the fine liners work here. And actually, Graphmaster fine liners will definitely stick to my regular collection of fine liners, because I personally prefer to draw out lines more than to color. But everybody their own. I really like just setting up stuff vaguely with a pencil and then combine thin and thick lines for line arts. And what I did here is I used the 1.0 brush liner to draw out this character's eyes. I wanted to go for another fantasy portrait of an angelic kind of a character with a star on her forehead and just a tiny bit of swirly golden crown, so that I could test out these first two warm gray shades. And I wanted to give her some goldish decorations in her hair and make her extra fluffy and just make a lot of different lines and thickness of the lines. So I used the 0.1 to draw out the hair threads and tiny details, and even sketch out a few lines for darker accents. And then I used 1.0 to draw out her eyes, because eyes are meant to pop out a little more on a character. That's just how the manga style goes. And I used 0.8 fine liner to later on draw out some threads of hair and make some parts of the hair thicker so that they can pop out. As for this particular drawing, I am making it a special treat for you guys, and if you go and visit my DeviantArt page in the next day or two, you will be able to download this line art. This is usually something I reserve only for my Patreon supporters, but I sometimes like to treat people when I do these kinds of giveaways and reviews. And you can just turn it into your own personal coloring book, print it out and have fun with it. I like giving away characters, my original characters, to people just to practice coloring and just practice their hand. But yeah, my personal advice to you is try to refrain from tracing, because tracing doesn't help you improve. This is something people really don't like to hear. As well as one thing people don't like to hear or see is mistakes. Look at me now. I made a big boo-boo. This is something that happens when the liner is too strong. Particularly, I discovered the hard way that the 1.0 fine liner was too much for this paper to take. So I don't recommend it for covering huge surfaces, because when you try to erase the pencil, yeah, it literally shredded the paper apart. But I then used the acrylic white to cover up the places which were smudged, and they worked out really nicely as a patch for this kind of a mistake. As you can see, even professional artists make mistakes. That's quite okay. Accidents happen. I had a lot of chances when my ink would spill out all across my drawing. My water for watercolors would do that as well. I even once had a plant on my table. That's a big mistake. And when I watered it, it literally took all the water out and just flooded my desk, and it was all over everything, my books, my notebooks, my drawings, my everything. So yeah, accidents happen, and that doesn't mean you need to quit. It just means you have to find a way to fix it. And there's so many different ways. If you like, you can comment on whether I should make a lesson about fixing accidents and mistakes and all the ways you can actually help yourself to save your drawings. But let's get back to this particular drawing. I used the next three shades, the warm gray 2, 3, and 4, well, mostly 2 and 3, to shade out this character. I personally prefer shading more than just adding color. I believe that's what makes characters just look pure and lets me play with their shapes and forms. I really like just drawing out shapes and forms and designing characters and shapes on them. These shapes can include clothes or different wings and accessories, because I'm a fashion designer, so that's kind of my thing. But yeah, I really like just adding depth, and this is what you can do with all gray set and make things look even brighter if you add just a smidge of color, like I did for her jewelry and hair. And I really hope that some of you like this too. But yeah, color people, well, people who like to color are more than welcome to comment on which color combinations they like. And here she is. And now for the big surprise. I have decided to tell you which of these items are for a giveaway, and guess what? They all are. If you go to my Facebook page, you can enter my raffle for you to either win this Graphmaster black pigment liner set of 8 I just reviewed, the Graphmaster 12 pieces alcohol-based ink, and you can, I think, even choose which set you like, because there's more than warm gray sets. And of course, if you want this drawing sent to your home address in the original format, I can even dedicate it and sign it for you. You can also enter the raffle by commenting in my Facebook page post, and you can find the link to my Facebook page in the description. Also, if you would like to have a chance of winning once a month a fully dedicated sketch, you can also support me on Patreon. And of course, if you want to learn how to draw manga, you can always purchase my book Manga Crash course in English and in French language. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time, and good luck on the raffle!